now available in paperback and e-readers. Isis, Revenge of the Cyber Goddess. The goddess next door takes on the threat of a deadly digital diva driven to destroy the world in this action-packed, all-new Isis series adventure. Get Isis, Revenge of the Cyber Goddess featuring a bonus pin-up and the other two books in the Cyber Goddess saga at online bookstores everywhere today. I got a chance to take a look at the trailer for the new Masters of the Universe movie, and as a He-Man fan from the 1980s, I was really excited with everything I saw in the trailer, and this trailer basically captured the spirit of the old Filmation cartoons. And I have to say that this Masters of the Universe movie is going to definitely be better than the disappointment that I had in 1986 with the 1986 Masters of the Universe movie. This one basically looks and feels a lot more like the Filmation cartoon, mixed with a lot of elements of fantasy from the 80s, and also captures a little bit of the quirk of the recent Barbie movie. Now, what Mattel wants to do is basically try to create a film similar to the Barbie movie that makes the He-Man character relevant for a new generation and a new audience of young viewers, and they really do a good job from what I see in this trailer. I really see where they've really done a great job of keeping these characters fresh and new for a new audience, meanwhile maintaining the spirit of who they were for all of us kids who grew up in the 1980s. Now, some people have an issue with the scene where Adam is basically sitting at this desk in HR and they have the phrase he, him in front of his desk, but I saw that as just a tongue-in-cheek joke as related to referencing one, He-Man, and also making a joke about these social justice narratives as related to gender and agenda. But when it comes to He-Man, the character is all about boys and all about boys and their quest to have the power of a man. And I think that's going to be a core theme in this movie. That's what I'm hoping will be, because one of the things that really got kids my age range at the time excited about He-Man was you had a guy, Prince Adam, who got the power of, again, this godlike character He-Man, and him having that power and saying I have the power was about a boy wanting to assert power and wanting to be able to be more than what he was. And that's the core part of what made He-Man characters and Masters of the Universe fun for many of us kids in the 80s. And as I was watching this trailer, again, it just took me back to the time when I was 10 years old in 1983, when He-Man and the Masters of the Universe used to come on WNEW Channel 5 here in New York, used to come on at 3:30, and we would rush to get home to school so I could go out here and check out all of those action-packed episodes of He-Man taking on Skeletor. Now, this trailer, again, really captures that spirit of the old 1980s Filmation cartoon, and one of the things that I liked, in addition to seeing the elaborate sets that basically, again, were a major step up from the 1986 movie, which took a lot of liberties. I mean, the 1986 He-Man movie took so many liberties with the characters. They look nothing like the toys. They look nothing like the Filmation cartoon. And I have to say that this movie does a great job of not only, again, capturing the spirit of the characters, but also capturing an aesthetic look that really reminds me of not only the 1983 cartoon from Filmation, but uses some elements from the 2000X or 2002 version of Masters of the Universe. I mean, I love seeing a lot of the elements put into from the 2002 show, because the 2002 show is extremely underrated. When you think of He-Man, again, 2002 added a lot of fresh elements to the legend and the lore. So that was the millennials version of He-Man, And that one was also a lot of fun. And I like seeing all of these different elements put together as related to the overall aesthetic look. And I like the way that they did things that now they one of the things some people have a problem with is the story starting out on Earth with Adam being sent to Earth, similar to what happened to She-Ra, whereas Prince Adora was sent to Etheria as related to Hordak taking her away, and then she eventually gets the power of She-Ra. But the whole thing is that they couldn't really do He-Man on, Eternia, like or have it like completely like Eternia, like they did in the '80s show, because they want the kids of today to feel like they have a part in something. So I understood why they had a lot of the elements of the story happen here on Earth. They want to get the boys interested in fantasy, and if the character is on Earth, they can feel a connection to the character. So I understood why they took that as related to this adaptation, because what they want to do is something that's standard for many movies: take this character from Earth and then take them to Eternia, and then have Eternia be that character that we're introduced to. So what they want to do is introduce the young people to Eternia and have He-Man go to Eternia. So I understood what they were doing story-wise as related to this. Again, it wasn't like in the '80s where kids just came in and they just showed it to us. This is where they want to get this new audience, and they want this to be their He-Man. They want this to be their version of the character, just like the 2000X version was completely different from the 1980s version. So I see what they're doing with this Masters of the Universe. Now, my only complaint is that we don't get the furry Trunks in this one. I mean, we didn't get the furry Trunks, so that's one only thing I have a beef with. But everything here is looking, again, a whole lot better than the '86 movie. Everything is looking really nice in this movie so far. I'm really excited for this Masters of the Universe movie. Really excited, and I'm hoping it does do as well as Barbie, because if they can execute this right, we might have another great summer blockbuster similar to what happened with Barbieheimer, where the Barbie movie basically again made $1 billion, but Masters could make that and a little bit more, because boys, basically again, we grew up with this character, and we have sons and grandsons we want to share with that character these days. A lot of kids grew up with He-Man, and from what I'm seeing, it's again, I don't really see it as a bad movie looking so far. I mean, some people got a beef with Idris Elba being Man-at-Arms, but I ain't got no beef with Idris Elba. I mean, Man-at-Arms Duncan is a cool character, and you got a good actor playing Man-at-Arms, but everything is pretty much, again, really close to the source material. I mean, everything is close. I mean, yeah, we got Adam basically wearing a pink shirt, but he's on Earth, so they wanted to make Adam relatable to, again, a new audience, because you can't have a guy wearing, a pink and magenta thing with furry briefs. Kids are not gonna look at that, and they want to see, again, a regular guy, again, growing into this power. That's what, again, is the core of what makes He-Man exciting for kids. And what we have here with the He-Man trailer shows me that this is going to be a great movie for kids, a great action and adventure movie, and I'm hoping that they, again, just keep it straight like the old Filmation cartoons, and I hope they add a little bit of cheese, because one of the things that made the Filmation cartoons a lot of fun was the fact that they never took themselves too seriously. I mean, they always threw jokes in the middle of the show. Now, the other thing I got a beef with is that there was no Orko, and Orko was a core character to He-Man. I'm hoping that they do put some Orko in here, because Orko is one of Prince Adam's closest friends, and he's a major character. And that was the only thing that I, again, also, have an issue with, is that Orko really wasn't a part of this trailer, but I'm hoping that he is in the movie. I'm hoping he's a part of the movie, but overall, really am excited about the Masters of the Universe movie. Really looking forward to this film, and really hope that it turns out to be a hit and that introduces a new generation of kids to He-Man. And I'm hoping that they basically again capture that fun spirit of the old 80s cartoon, capture that campiness and cheese of the 80s cartoon, and hopefully what we'll get is a moral at the end of the movie. That would really be the icing on the cake if they gave us a moral at the end of the movie, similar to the old He-Man cartoons. That would be the greatest thing. I mean, I would love to see this movie again do well because it's got all the elements there to be basically fun and be fun for a new generation of kids to see what was so great about the Masters of the Universe and what made them, again, a long-standing character that people have loved for over 40 years. Now, if you want to check out my first full comic, John Haynes at Death's Door, you can find that comic on Lulu.com. And if you want to check out my other comic, Esteem No Good Deed, it's on Kindle for just 99 cents. And you can also find it in the Esteem series book, Esteem Blast from the Past. And if you want to check out my action-packed fantasy that features African American characters, you can check all of my fantasy out in the Isis series, the Esteem series, the John Haynes series, and the Spinsterella series. Or you can find all those books on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find them at other online booksellers like Draft Digital, Google Play, Barnes & Noble, and big box retailers like Walmart and Target. And all those books are written for all ages and are easily accessible to anybody of any age. So, and check out those books at the online retailers all over the world. And if you want to see me make more videos talking about fantasy and science fiction like Masters of the Universe, you can drop a donation to the Patreon, the PayPal, or the Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Now available in paperback and Kindle Unlimited, John Haynes, the man with nothing to lose. The man who rules the world runs into the irresistible force of a man with nothing to lose in this action-packed, all-new John Haynes series adventure. Get the regular and variant editions of John Haynes, the man with nothing to lose on Amazon.com today. Now available on Lulu, John Haynes at Death's Door. The man who rules the world takes on the Greek god of death in this action-packed, all-new John Haynes comic book. Get your copy of the first John Haynes comic at Lulu.com today. Support Black-owned and Black-operated digital broadcast media. www.niceradionetwork.com. Nice Radio Network broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.